When you think of the Calgary Stampede, the rodeo, parade, and midway likely come to mind. But did you know that aviation has also played a role in creating the spectacle of the greatest show on earth? Follow along as we travel back in time to see some of the aviation highlights. Prior to the first ever Calgary Stampede in 1912, the Calgary Fair was held in early July every year. For the 1908 fair, it had been arranged that Jack Dallas would pilot an airship owned by American J. Strobel on flights during the 9-day event. In regards to the opening day parade, the Calgary Herald reported that just after the parade started, there was a shout heard from hundreds of feet in the air, and a strange whistling noise arose. Everyone looked in the air and stood transfixed. A great cigar-shaped body was sailing steadily up and up, with a mere atom of a man hung underneath it. The splendor seen at the opening parade did not last long, though, as on July 4th, a violent windstorm caused the airship to rub against its supports. The friction and heat generated caused the airship to explode, sending both Dallas and his assistant to the hospital with serious burns, and the airship was sadly destroyed. Fast forward to 1916, we see the arrival of Miss Catherine Stinson of Chicago to Calgary. She delighted over 40,000 spectators through her 10 stunt-filled flights, including a loop-de-loop in her biplane called the Partridge-Keller Looper. The organizers were so pleased with her performances, she was invited back for the following year. Miss Stinson's return in 1917 was much anticipated, but was plagued by mechanical problems after the 2 planes she had shipped to Calgary were discovered damaged upon arrival. After being able to successfully get into the air on July 2nd, the Morning Albertan sung Miss Stinson's praises by reporting, "Last night she made a spectacular flight, with the plane electrically illuminated, the vision of the machine whirling high in the air, spangled with lights, was a vision which few who were present will forget." In 1918, Miss Stinson chose to return for a 3rd consecutive year in hopes of making up for her mechanical misfortunes of the previous year. On top of dazzling spectators with her stunt flying, she also ended up delivering the first airmail in Western Canada on July 9th from Calgary to Edmonton in her Curtiss biplane. During the following year, the Calgary Stampede and exhibition spectators were treated to the aerial shows of World War I flying aces Captain Fred McCall of Calgary and Watt May of Edmonton. Apart from conducting flying demonstrations, Captain McCall also gave airplane rides in his Curtiss Jenny biplane. On the last day of the exhibition, McCall took up 2 young boys in his aircraft. However, soon after takeoff, he encountered engine problems, and with a crowded midway and a full racetrack below, McCall chose the merry-go-round for his emergency landing. Luckily, no one was injured, both in the aircraft and on the merry-go-round. In 1920, new air regulations were set by the Canadian government, which made aviation events less desirable for exhibitions like the Calgary Stampede. Nevertheless, aviation still persisted in various forms over the years. One such example was the 1963 Stampede and Exhibition, which had the theme Salute to Transportation. Some of the displays included the world's best precision parachute jumper, acrobats who performed trapeze acts hanging from helicopters, and the Rocket Man, where the Bell rocket belt, a twin-jet hydrogen peroxide propulsion system, was demonstrated in front of the grandstand. Even more exciting, civilians were able to take part through the COPA, Canadian Owners and Pilots Association Stampede Air Race, where civilian pilots from across Canada and the US flew to Calgary to take in the Stampede and vie for different trophies that recognized the longest distance traveled, the oldest aircraft flown, and the highly coveted Imperial Oil Award for the best overall performance, to name a few. There are many more examples of aviation's connection to the Calgary Stampede. Can you think of any? If not, keep your eyes peeled on your next visit to the Stampede grounds.